Hey guys, welcome to Argent Leftovers Gaming Game Reviews. This week we're doing Zombies 15 Minutes. It is a cooperative survival game for 2 to 4 players.
We have 15 minutes to beat the game. There's 3 tracks on here. One track is the easy mode, one track is the medium mode, and one track is the hard mode.
So basically the game is double-sided map tiles that can be laid out in a variety of configurations. Each one has a street area and a search area denoted by the little dotted yellow lines. Zombies, of course, your requisite zombies in a zombie board game. The pieces are really well constructed. They are a little thin around the legs and the arms, so they can come off in the middle of a game. We've only lost, I think, 1 limb, and I guess that's pretty good for zombie attrition. There are larger ones, including the obligatory tank model, who is actually pretty detailed, disgusting little guy. Knuckle dragger. I don't know why, because zombies apparently become bodybuilders when they die. The game's construction, pretty well designed. The CD, of course, is a CD. It's durable. It comes in a plastic case so that hopefully you don't get it too scratched or broken, because it is kind of a central part of the game. Double-sided map sheets on thick cardboard. You're only going to tear the edges up. Try not to do that. The cards are plasticized cardstock, front and back, typical playing card style things. You have a weapons and equipment deck. You have a backpack search token. This has some extra special gear in it.
Med kits, stuff like that.
Med kits, things like that. These are your search cards so that you can search through and find new objects in the game. And, of course, your spawning zombies cards, because everybody needs more zombies in their life. The only other things are the character cards, which are also double-sided laminate. One side is the easy side. It doesn't have any special abilities. The other side is, of course, the advanced mode. So, the game essentially plays, you set up, everybody starts in a designated location, you have a scenario objective to go through. It is a cooperative game. Everybody's trying to get there at once. The game is fighting against them.
So, the disc is very, very important to the game. It's what makes the game unique and special. Easy mode, medium mode, hard mode, with different groans. Now, groans, you'll draw from this pile. And, you can draw a card that has 4 zombies, or you can draw a card that has 1 zombie, and that'll spawn in your area. You'll be sitting in this house, and the zombie would pop up there. But, if you draw the horde card, you'll be drawing from that box. Whatever's in that box, you will put on your space. And that can be a real pain.
Every 60, we originally played with no zombie spawns. Basically, it goes through the entire 15-minute soundtrack of Hollywood scored type music. You get a lot of action, adventure, wailing sirens in the background. And that tells you basically how long you're going to live, 15 minutes being the absolute upper. If you don't complete the mission objective in the 15 minutes, the song ends and you die. Easy mode we played through. It was pretty easy. There were no extra zombies spawned from this deck. As a matter of fact, this deck was not in the game at all. So we had basically what was on the board to begin with, and that was it. Pretty easy. When we got to the intermediate mode, it does a zombie groan every 60 seconds. That means you have 15 rounds of drawing from this deck. Deck can pull, as you see here from the top card, 4, and those zombies spawn. 3 zombies start in the box. Every time you use an item, it adds a certain number of zombies to the box. When you're drawing through this deck, you may actually draw the Horde card. When the Horde card is drawn, everything comes out of this box into play on your location, as a zombie horde shows up to make your life miserable, as if, the end of the world wasn't miserable enough, right? Every 60 seconds really doesn't seem like that much, but every player's turn is somewhat timed by themselves. So if it takes me 2 minutes to get through a turn, that means I'm going to spawn 2 zombie sets during that turn. So it really kind of benefits you to go as fast as possible through your turn. And honestly, it did change the way the game felt between the introductory with no zombie groans, no zombies added, to the intermediate game with zombies coming every 60 seconds. It very much, with the soundtrack and, like I said, the sirens and everything going off in the background, made it a lot more rushed and tense.
It also changes your strategy, because you can be planning something like, me and him are going to meet up in this one spot and we can get through the whole area, and then there's a zombie groan and you have to deal with the zombies, and then you'll move on to another area and another zombie groan, and it really adds a challenge, but it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's a really interesting mechanic that they're using there. Three things I like, three things I don't like real quick. First of all, three things I really do enjoy. I do enjoy the CD soundtrack. Again, it gives it a sense of urgency. I like the fact that the game is cooperative. The third thing I like, there is a varied number of ways that these boards go together. There are, I believe, 36 map tiles, both of them double-sided. So you get a lot of variation on things that you can do. Three things I did not like. First of all, I did not like the characters in the game. They didn't seem diverse enough. Some of them seemed way more powerful than others. Not much you can do there. There are 8 characters in the box, so you can have more than 4 players, which is the recommended number of players. But some of them seem a little more powerful, a little better abilities than the others. Do think it takes a little too much time to set up at times. You have to find the individual map pieces, which are all numbered. With them being double-sided, there's a side A and a side B. There's a lot of map tiles to go through if you're setting up a scenario, so you can actually spend more time setting up the game than you do playing the game to completion. Drian, your 3?
I really liked how it was set up. It very much reminds me of the game Zombies. You know, the tiles and the zombie spawning and stuff like that. The CD was one thing I loved because it, like I said, made the game. It gave it suspense, it gave it action, gave it, cool sounding music. The Horde was an interesting add-on too, because the sound will make more zombies, so you don't really want to use guns, but you will if you have to, because they're pretty strong.
I think it's better than just kind of having them spawn randomly on the board at any given time.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's better to have this impending build-up over on the side that may or may not ever get drawn from this pile.
And I disagree with my dad. The characters can be very diverse. The heavy guy, where he can't use melee weapons, which is a very important thing, because guns make sound in Horde box. He can carry a heavy object and a gun at the same time. So he can use the heavy machine gun with a shotgun. And he can pretty much decimate anything.
And make a lot of noise and attract a lot of zombies.
Yeah. One thing I did not like is how small some of the maps are. The beginning one was pretty small, and I have a feeling it's not going to get that big. But I understand it, considering we only have 15 minutes to do it. I mean, if we get later in the campaign, it can be bigger, but I don't foresee it.
People do die in this game. By die, I mean they fall down. You can still pick them up and carry them because it is a cooperative game. Generally, it'll say everyone has to be in a location. So you can defib them, or you can pick them up and carry them to the goal with you. Either way, it behooves you not to become a burden on your friends, because they have to spend time picking you up, and you count as a large object, so they can't use a gun or their bat or anything while they're in the midst of carrying you because you fell down.
It's all your fault.
It's all your fault. So, guys, that's it. I think for myself, on a scale of 1 to 5, I'll give it 4 stars. It could be a solid 5, but I think Drian's right. It is a little simplistic, and it does take a little time to set it up. If you're willing to put it in that time to actually set the board game up and then play 4 or 5 scenarios in a row, or even play the same map 3 or 4 times with different difficulty levels.
And you can make your own custom maps with the board game. And, I mean, don't make them too big, because if you have the 15 minutes, you're probably not going to make it in time if it's too big.
Yeah, it's a good challenge. You can try yourself. I mean, if you
Try
really
to
want
be better than us.
Yeah, be better than us.
We're not
It's
very
not
good.
hard. Anyway, myself, 4 out of 5 stars. Drian?
I'd give it a 4.5. 4.5.
4.5. See what I was talking about, us being competitive? He's got to go a half more than me just because he wants to have the highest number. See, look at this. I have an abusive son. No, I don't. I really don't.
I beat him while he sleeps.
He does. That's why I wake up with all this mess. That's why I look like this, actually. No, construction of the game, definitely A+ purchase. It's going to run you about $80 to $85, depending on where you get it. We got it at Barnes & Nobles, and I think it took us $80, $79.99. Guys, join us next week. We're going to be doing Persona 4 Ultimax for the PS3. That's by Atlas. It's a fighting game based on the Shin Megami Tensei Persona series. We'll be showing off our competitive nature then, obviously.
I'm going to beat him while he sleeps.
He's going to beat me while I sleep, mainly because I'm going to be asleep at the controller.
If you like my hat, go to Angela Knits on Facebook. This is the Spray Slug from Futurama, if you can't tell. And his name is Squiggles.
And he goes on your head. That's the best place for a brain slug. really does help him with his grades. Anyway, Angela Knits on Facebook. She's a sponsor of the show. Also, click like and subscribe down in the box below. Please share us with your friends on Facebook or anywhere else you want to share us.
Please give us ideas for new games to try out. We are completely open to ideas.
Comments, like, subscribe. Please feel free to share us with your friends. Add us on the channel. Make sure to come back later for more game reviews from Argent Leftovers Gaming. Bye, guys.